Hello and welcome to this SRUC Aberdeen Student Support online event. My name's Stephen, I'm the Marketing and Student Recruitment Officer in Aberdeen, and today we're joined by Amy from the Student Support team who will talk through some of the support services offered in Aberdeen, and you can ask any questions in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. So I will pass over to Amy now.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Stephen. So I've just put the first slide here, just kind of showing you the members of staff we've got in the student support team. We have got education support, pastoral support, careers advisor, and a fees and funding officer. So for any funding questions, we have a generic email for all of us, so we'll all have access to that email. So if you've got any general support questions, we can answer them that way, and you can just send it through and we'll direct you to the right person. So some of you may have already declared any support needs you've got on your application. If you haven't, don't worry, you can let us know just as soon as possible. So there's a variety of different things that you may want to let us know about, and all these things may arise during the academic year. So it might be that you're kind of struggling with your studies and you might end up discovering that you've got dyslexia, or your mental health kind of takes a wee bit of a dip. So we're available at any point. You can come and access us. You can also kind of let other staff members know, and then they can point you in our direction as well. So we offer student support sessions, so that's one-to-one support. We can also do group sessions. There can be drop-in sessions if you've got any kind of general queries. And all of these sessions can be done in a variety of ways, so in person, on Teams, by email, or by phone, whatever is best for you. And it doesn't have to be the same way all the time. It can be whatever works for you on that day. So for booking support sessions, we've got a variety of different ways of doing it. So you can contact us on that email there. You can speak to us at the hub area, so that's where we're based. And we also have a booking page that you can go on and kind of see our availability and book in an appointment that suits you. We also have a lot of resources on our Moodle pages. So we've got a funding one, a pastoral support one, and an education support one. So there's a lot of good resources on there if you're kind of struggling and want to have a look and see what kind of support is out there. Also, if you're waiting to kind of see us for a meeting or anything like that, there is stuff on there that should be able to help you in the short term anyway as well. We also have a couple of study rooms that you can use. So they are bookable, again, kind of a similar system to our booking system for the staff appointments, but you can book these rooms to use for your studies. Also, if they're just available, you can go in and use them, but it's quite good if you're kind of wanting some peace and quiet to study. We also have a quiet room, which is again located in our hub area. So it's upstairs next to all our offices. This is not a bookable space, but it's just there for anybody who's kind of maybe feeling overwhelmed, particularly students with kind of ADHD or autism sometimes can find it a wee bit overwhelming and noisy and things. So they'll go into the quiet room just to get a wee break. And this is another kind of reasonable adjustment we can put on so that we're aware that you may just need to take some time out of class, and that is okay. It's just a bit of a better space than having to go and hide away in the toilets, so you can use that if you need it. I'm going to just chat through education support. So it's myself and Kirsty. So Kirsty does one day a week for education support as well as careers advising. So a wee bit of a duplication of roles there. So what we can offer is the study support sessions. So these can cover a wide range of things like coursework, if you're struggling with academic writing, referencing, kind of your time management. At the moment there was exams before Christmas, so that was quite a big one. But any sort of issues that are kind of impacting your study, we're more than happy to help with. This isn't just everything that we cover. So anything at all you can come and speak to us about. We also put in place any alternative assessment arrangements. So if you've ever had a smaller or a separate room for assessments, extra time, access to a laptop, reader, scribe, any kind of alternative assessment arrangements we can put in place. Again, if you haven't said on your application, just let us know. This, as I say, can be at any point. We can put that in place. So it's good to kind of let us know ahead of time if you can. And then what we do is we tend to contact students, both the pastoral support and the education support. We will contact students ahead of time for those that have declared any needs so that we can get this kind of set up for you starting with us. We've got Kirsty, who, as I said, did education as well as careers. So she does careers 2.5 days a week. So the Career Support Service is for students for a variety of reasons. So it might be you've decided on what course you want to do, and then you're not sure what you want to do once you leave SRUC. If you then end up kind of not continuing on with your course, you can also get some guidance to kind of figure out where to go. You may change your mind. It's very common in first year for students to kind of go, actually, this isn't quite what I'm interested in. So then the Career Day is there to kind of help you figure out what your next steps would be. And any SRUC graduates, so it's up to 2 years after you graduate, you still have access to the Career Support Service. So it's really great that you've got access to that. And then the main aims of the career support is kind of helping you plan out where you want to head with your career, help you with any applications you've got to do, kind of proofreading CVs, cover letters, things like that. Helping you with skills development. So this is an area that Kirsty finds that a lot of students aren't actually aware of what skills they've got, in particular kind of the transferable skills that you don't really think about. So she's really good at kind of pinpointing from different activities that you may do outside of college, kind of different areas that you're quite good at and what skills you've got because of that. She'll also help you kind of looking at different jobs and different course options, and then we'll also signpost you to other available resources that are useful for you. So funding support, Katie is our fees and funding officer. She's not actually on campus, but she is very quick at responding, so you can get in touch with her by email there. Again, she's available Monday to Friday. And as I said, we can kind of pinpoint you or send you Katie's way if you need to, and kind of give you that contact information as well. So she can help you with a range of things. So your tuition fees, any bursaries, student loans, any internal funds that are available, or any external funds. And then you've got the education maintenance allowance as well. So just a few important things for funding wise. For tuition fees for higher education, you can apply for SAS and need to do this for every single year. There's obviously eligibility criteria and things, so just make sure you're kind of applying for that as and when you can. For your further education, you can apply for your tuition fees through us. So just make sure you're kind of checking your emails. If you will get kind of emails through about applying for funding for fees and things like that. So you will receive a link kind of closer to the start date to a support fund site where you can kind of get your application in, and then it'll be processed by staff. If you're kind of needing any extra information, so kind of any, I suppose, like parents' income and things like that, they will ask you if you're missing it. So just keep an eye out for any emails. That tends to get kind of looked at over summer as well. So as I said, there's the bursary and EMA funding for your FE courses. So just looking at the different kind of categories you'd be in. So there's 2 categories in the bursary. So there's category B, and that's when you're 18 to 24, and category C is when you're over 25. And then you've got EMA for those under 18 at the start of the course. So there is different funding available. As I say, Katie is the best person to kind of figure out what funding is best for you. So if you do want to kind of have a chat with her, let us know and we can get you in contact with her. And then, as I said, there's some internal funds, so there's discretionary funding. So if you're struggling kind of with your living expenses, you can apply at any point in the academic year for that funding. There's also the centenary bursary. So that helps with higher education students who kind of want to get to progress with your education with us. So that's probably not something for just now, but probably something to look out for if you're planning on progressing with us. And then there's also the childcare fund. So if you've got any kind of childcare costs for the days you're on campus, we can look at getting that covered as well. And then pastoral support. So we have Dawn Carnegie, who's our pastoral support tutor, and we also have a campus counsellor. So normally what would happen is you'd come and speak to Dawn or myself, and then if we feel you need to be referred to the counsellor, we will then pass you on to Pam, and you can arrange an appointment with her. And that's how that works. So the pastoral support, the main aims of this is to maintain and improve your physical and mental well-being. Again, kind of similar to what the education support do, put in any reasonable adjustments as well, and to give you any advice or kind of source advice for you, or access other sources of support where necessary. So this is all to do with your physical and mental well-being. So obviously when you're kind of changing, you're adapting to your new life in college, there's a few things or several things that might kind of worry you or kind of mean that you want to get some support. So things like safety advice, if you're feeling homesick, kind of how you cope with student life, again, managing your time and stuff like that. Making friends. A lot of people feel imposter syndrome, they shouldn't be here. Local medical contact details and things like that, and kind of living on your own for the first time as well, so we can kind of give you advice with that as well. So as I said, with education support, this is not a complete list of everything we can help with. Anything that you're worrying about, please let us know, and we can see what support we can put in place for you. We also have a corporate parenting umbrella. So this is for the categories you can see under the umbrella there, so like the care experienced, homeless, estranged. We'll just provide a bit more support for you if you need it. We'll look at kind of the transition as well, putting support in there, and a bit more careers and progression support. And then we'll have kind of somebody that you know to come in contact, so it would probably be Dawn on this campus. And then if you need any support kind of with other things going on outside of college, we can kind of help with liaising with them for you as well. And then just the regular support meetings. I would say this is very similar to what we would offer students in general, but just because you're kind of under that umbrella, we kind of keep a bit more of an eye on you. We also have an app which is really good called Spectrum Life. So you get your 24/7 confidential and free support service. So you can kind of log on there and see all the different resources. There is kind of access to a counsellor. It's a one-off kind of counselling session, but if you need it at that point, and it can be accessed by online chat, phone, WhatsApp, whatever works best for you. And there's quite a few good resources on there. So there's things like your digital gym, there's different recipes, well-being, there's lots of different webinars you can look at and videos and things. So it's a really good resource to have a look at and kind of have on your phone, just to kind of see for well-being wise in the beginning of term. That is me. I've run through that very quickly. But yeah, that email address there. So if you've got any queries, I know we've potentially got some questions, but if there's anything kind of specific to your support needs, I won't discuss that obviously just now. But if you want to send us an email, and then we can kind of have a chat about that one-to-one, if that is something you're interested in. I stop sharing now, Stephen.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. Thank you very much, Amy. There aren't any questions at the moment. We'll maybe give people a minute to see if anything comes up. But if anyone does have any questions, if they're specific student support questions, then use the student support email to send them to Amy and the team. If there's anything a bit more general, then you can email them to me, and I can get an answer for you. Doesn't seem to be any questions, so I think we'll just leave it there, shall we? So yeah, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to email and someone will get back to you. But other than that, I will leave it to Amy to say thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming along today. And yeah, as I say, any questions, just get in touch.